Hi guys, I hope that you're having a great day. Today we are going to describe the characters from a story and determine the reasons for their actions or determine the reasons for why they do what they do. So, do you remember what a character is? A character is the person, the animal, or the thing that the story is mainly about. We can describe the characters by how they look, right? By what kind of, color hair they have or the color eyes that they have. But we can also describe a character by the things that they do, by the way that they feel, the things that they say, and the things that they think. So today, we are going to be good readers and we are going to use those details to help us better understand why characters do what they do. And today we are going to read a story called The Blackout. And I want you to listen carefully and I want you to focus and think about what are the characters doing? How are they acting? What are they saying? How can we describe this character based off of what they're doing? Okay, so we are going to read the story The Blackout.
The Blackout, written by Zetta Elliott, illustrated by Maxime Lebrun. The lights went out during the storm. Everything went quiet. I will check on Mr. Stevens, Mama says. I will check on Martha and Todd, Papa says. I will check on Mrs. Johnson, I say. Close read. Underline the words that tell what the boy says. I go upstairs with my flashlight. Mrs. Johnson's radio was always on, but now it is silent. Vocabulary in context. I need a battery, Mrs. Johnson mutters. I give her my battery. Close read. How would you? Mrs. Johnson puts my battery in her radio. It works. Everyone comes. We all listen until the lights come back on.
The end. Now, the first character that we are going to look at is Mama. So we are going to go back to the beginning to where we were introduced to Mama's character. Let's see what Mama says. So we came back to the beginning of the story and let's see what she says.
I will check on Mr. Stevens, Mama says.
Oh, let's look at a graphic organizer. A graphic organizer is something that we can use to help us organize our information and keep it into one place. All right, so here is our graphic organizer, and we are going to use this graphic organizer to help us describe the characters from the story. So our first character that we are going to talk about is Mama. So up here at the top in the name, we're going to add her name. We're going to put Mama. Now, we have her name, and now here we have to put a drawing or a picture of what the character looks like. And since we listened to the story, I'm going to insert her picture. So here is the picture of Mama, and let's take a look. Let's look at her. So here she is. So we have the name, we have the drawing or the picture of what she looks like, and here we are going to put the physical description. And the physical description is her physical traits. Like, does she have dark hair? Does she have dark eyes? Is she an adult? Is she a girl or a boy? So the first thing that I notice about Mama is that she is an adult. She's an adult. She is a lady. She has dark hair and she has dark eyes. So we do have that information. We have a physical description, we have her name, and we have the drawing. So let's think. Now in this box right here, we have to put something important that the character says. So if we went back to our story, and remember we went back to our story and we listened to what she said. So let's listen to it again.
I will check on Mr. Stevens.
So remember what I said earlier. We can determine or describe a character by what they say, what they think, and what they do. So what is something important that Mama said? She said, I will check on Mr. Stevens. So that is something that the character said from the story, and that's what Mama said. Okay, so now we're going to look at an important action, and an action is something that they do. So I see that Mama has a lantern in her hand, and when the electricity went out, what did Mama do? Right? She says, and we also look back at, we know that what she said, I will check on Mr. Stevens. So what did Mama do with her lantern? She went upstairs to check on Mr. Stevens to make sure that he is okay. So that is the important action from the story. So about the character. So from what we know about Mama, from what she says, and from the things that she does, we can determine her personality. We can determine the type of person she is. So what type of person is Mama? If she is willing to go check on somebody, then we can say that she is kind and she is thoughtful. And we know that based off of what she says and the things that the character does in the story. Let's do one together. Let's do another character. The next character that shows up in the story is the dad. So you guys are going to help me describe the character traits of the dad in the story. So let's look at the characters. We have his name, we have Dad, and we are going to add a picture about the picture of our character. And you could draw a picture of your character, but I am going to insert a picture from the story. So here is our dad, and we're going to use this picture to help us describe his physical traits. So what does he look like? So is he an adult? Yeah, we can say he's an adult, okay? What else do you notice about the character? What else do you notice about Dad? He has dark hair. Or is he a man? He is a man. He has dark hair and dark eyes. Very good. Now we need to go back into the story and we need to look for something important that he says. So we're going to go back to the story where we met the dad. And I think it is it on this page? We're going to go back and we're going to listen to what the father says. And pay close attention. What does he say?
I will check on Martha and Todd, Papa says.
Okay, so what did Papa say? What was the important thing that his character said in the story? That's right. He said, Papa says, I will check on Martha and Todd. So that is something important. That's because that's what the character said. Okay, so let's take a look at the important action. So he said he's going to go check on somebody. So what do you think the action is that he did, Or do you remember what did he do that was so important? I also see in the picture that he has a flashlight. Do you think he might be going upstairs or downstairs to visit those friends and let them borrow a flashlight? Maybe. So we can say that the important action of what Dad was doing was taking the flashlight to check on the neighbors. Okay? So based off of what we've learned about Dad, we know that he's an adult, that he's a man, he has dark hair and dark eyes, so we can describe what the character looks like. But based off of what he says, like going and helping Martha and Todd, and also taking a flashlight to check on the neighbors, what can we say about his personality? What kind of person is he? Well, we definitely could say that he is nice, right? A nice person would go and check on somebody, and also he's very kind, right? And he's helpful. So he's taking the flashlight to help them out. And he is helpful. And that is how we can describe our character. We can describe characters by how they look, by the important things that they say, by the action or the things that they do, and by their personality, just from what we can learn from these main parts about the character. It helps us to describe them better. So what I want you to do for your assignment is you are going to, and we can do this together tomorrow when we are in our Google Meets, but what you're going to do is we're going to come up with the description of the character for the boy. So that is what you are going to do, is you're going to help describe his characteristics, and we will do that together. So when we meet together, we will go over it together. We'll review it. Okay? All right. It's important, though, to remember that we can describe characters based off of the things that they do, the things that they say, how they look, okay? The things that they think. These details help us to become better readers and to help us understand the story, okay? All right, I'll see you guys later.